we're going all in. Alpha Strike. Here we go. Change for the 4-2 trample, or? Oh, 1 to me. Okay. They are down to 1. That does it. Hey there, cons. Today we're going to look at Path of Power, the red-green gruul Foundations starter deck. So this deck is trying to ramp out into some aggressive lines of play and then kind of beat down the opponent with creatures power 4 or greater. So in the deck we have Land of Morales, which is our ramp option, just a 1/1 tap for green. We have Bushwhack, which gives us a couple options. We can either search our library for a basic land, reveal it, and put it into our hand, or we can have target creature we control fight target creature we don't control. So this is green removal. But the flexibility in there helps us depending on what stage of the game we're at. Mild Mannered Librarian, a 1/1. You can pay 3 and a green to put 2 1/1 counters on it and draw a card. So kind of a combat trick on a stick with some card advantage as a added bonus. So a very nice 1-drop. And then Snakeskin Veil. So this gives puts a 1/1 counter on target creature and gives it hexproof. So helps us to protect some of our more powerful threats. And then honestly, it can just combat trick for a win out of nowhere. So in the 2 slot, we have Axguard Cavalry. So it can give somebody on our team haste. So if we happen to draw into one of our, cool rares or uncommons, then maybe we can give it haste across the finish line. Bulk Up, this is a cool card. So we double target creature's power until end of turn. So if we have a Trampley Boy, this can get us across the finish line, especially with the flashback cost. If we're flooding out, we can just cast this from our graveyard. Courageous Goblin, so this, if it sees a creature with power 4 or greater, it gets +1/+0 and gains menace until end of turn. So a bit of evasion to help close out some games. Scorching Dragonfire, this deals 3 damage, and if it were to kill a creature or planeswalker, you get to exile it instead. So it removes some of the early threats, and if our opponent happens to have abilities to recur from their graveyard, this can help shut that down. Nessian Hornbeetle, it's a 2/2, and then if we have a creature with power 4 or greater, it grows by, you put a 1/1 counter on it. So if we have some early plays, like an Eager Truffle Snout or some other enabler, this can continue to grow throughout the course of the game, and if left unchecked, can just help us win. Ruby Daring Tracker is a 1/2 haste. When she attacks and you control a creature with power 4 or greater, she gets +2/+2 until end of turn, so she can become a 3/4 on our side. And then you can also tap for red or green. So the haste stat line helps us curve out into some more powerful cards. Giant Cindermaw, this is a 4/3 trample, and the next text here says players can't gain life. So those tricky Orzhov life gain decks or some other life gain effects out there, this will help shut that down and get us across the finish line. Beastkin Ranger is a 3/3 trample. Whenever another creature you control enters, but this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So it's a payoff for going wide, casting more creatures. Truffle Snout's the 4/2. It's a good stat line to help enable some of our power 4 or greater effects. And then when it deals combat damage to a player, create a food token. So it helps us gain a bit of life as well. Felling Blow, this is removal. You put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, and then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature and opponent controls. So that can help remove some of the threats on our opponent's side. Garrick's Uprising, this is a great enchantment. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. And then creatures you control have trample. That's across the board. And then whenever a creature you control with power 4 or greater enters, draw a card. So it helps us draw into more answers. It helps strengthen the team by giving them trample. And just this is the card you want to hit your 3 slot. Spinner of Souls, 4/3 reach. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, You may reveal cards from the top of the library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card in your hand, the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. So it helps us draw into answers if we keep exchanging some of our creatures as we attack in. Sky Raker Giant, it's a 4/3 with reach. That's going to be relevant. There are decks that have a lot of flyers in the format, so this is going to help, reduce the pain. Vizier of the Menagerie, you may look at the top card of your library at any time. You have more information to make more informed decisions. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. So, this is a form of card advantage. And then you can spend mana of any type to cast creature spells. So that's going to help in this deck where, there's a lot of basic lands, a lot of tapped lands. So you may not always have the exact colors that you're looking for to cast. And then Ashroot Animus is a 4/4 trample. Whenever this creature attacks another target creature you control, gains trample and gets +X until end of turn, where X is this creature's power. So if we happen to pair this with some of our pump up effects, it can do some nasty things. Same for Helana and Elena. First strike reach at the beginning of combat on your turn. Put X +1/+1 counters on another target creature you control, where X is Helana and Elena's power. That creature gains haste until end of turn. So this can definitely help close out games. So we happen to have, some powerful creatures. We can use a pump spell on this, give our other powerful creatures haste, and then just blow out the game. So that is Path of Power. Creatures of power 4 or greater matter. And hopefully we get to play out some of these cool cards. Let's take it for a spin. If you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing and like the video. That would really help me out. Okay, we go first, which is always good. We have both colors. We've got early turn plays. We get to threats. This is a hell of a hand. Opponent is on cat attack. Get in there for 1. All right. Interesting. We drew 2 truffle snouts and 2 scorching dragonfires. All right. Let's put Tramply boy in there. Go ahead and swing in. Bros, because we have a creature with power 4 or greater. Unfortunately, bushwhacks at sorcery speed, but banishing light, okay, that is fine. We have a backup here. Or do we want to cast something with reach? They don't have any flyers. Or we can, try to hit a land drop. I think we're gonna try to apply as much pressure as we can here. We're trying to beat our opponent down. They have a unicorn and a Leonin Vanguard. Hit our land drop. I think we just remove both of their creatures and clear the way. We're using all of our mana to do that. And we get in. Create a food token. We'll have the bushwhack available if we want to have a fight effect. They have another banishing light. So now we can probably play out the giant. That also has power 4 or greater. So the ruby pairing tracker is doing a lot of work. Down to 4. So we have 2 fight effects, and I think that will get us there. Like that. But like that. I think that does it. Good game. Yeah, some gruul beatdown. Yeah, fortunately we drew into the Ruby Daring Tracker pretty early, and then we had a couple of Eager Truffle Snouts. And so we had the Power 4 or greater online, and the Ruby Daring Tracker just kept getting in. And we also had, 4 of our removal effects, and just outvalued the opponent. Going first is good, I hear. All right, so both colors, we have early turn plays. We'll keep. They are on Boros. Through into our Ruby Tracker. This out on turn 3, we can double spell into 2 drops. Have our payoff cards, but what lines up well? So Goblin versus Goblin, right? This card we don't particularly, not our strongest card. Don't mind trading, but shut down their creature. All right. Okay, this is that double spell turn, so 2 drops. This produces green mana and has haste. That was probably the most bang for our buck on that turn. And before combat, we definitely want to play a creature with power 4 or greater. Likely the giant Cinderball. This time, I think we actually let that go through. This is going to grow. We don't want to trade into that unnecessarily. Full green here. Hold all the information. Get in. Yeah, it's a bigger swing on our side. Play out the green after the fact. Do we block? Oh. Might have a pump up effect. They can get in and get all the mana they want. I'm not sure that's gonna help them in their current position. They can cast out more cards from their hand, but I think we have more powerful effects. That's a good one. All right. So highest upside. Well, let's get more information. Let's do it like that. So what's the top card of our library? The Truffles. We don't have... Okay, so we'll get in. We'll tack in with our power 4 or greater creatures and let the 3/4 hang back. Nope, doesn't have a favorable block against a Sarah Angel. That is a good trade. Get rid of our trampler, but oh, we can get this out. So yeah, we're gaining a lot of advantage with our ramp effects here, and then also looking at the top card of our library and being able to cast creatures from the top of our library, and then and of any type to cast creature spells. Getting a lot of gruul value here. Strength in our opponent's deck is having a lot of creatures, and currently they have 1. Franco is a good one. So hopefully we find some removal for that. So let's swing in. Actually, we can give target creature haste, so let's do that before combat. And we're going all in. Alpha Strike, here we go. Yeah, that might do it. Our opponent's considering their options to block here. Probably chump in the 5/5. Change for the 4/2 trample, or oh, 1 to me. Okay. They are down to 1. Creative food. We can always eat that at another time. That does it. Alright, yeah, we had our early turn plays. Played out the Courageous Goblin, had some trades. The Giant Cinemaw traded for their Sarah Angel. And then we just got the ball rolling early with the Nessian Horn Beetle and having a creature with power 4 or greater. So, a great gruul game right there. If you're enjoying this content, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It would really help me out. We go first. We don't have a turn 1 play, but we have enough in hand to do the thing here. Play a tap land, gain a life. Guard Cavalry gives target creature haste until end of turn. That could be sweet. All right. Our 2/2 lines up well against their 1/1. We want to try to hang on to these removal effects for as late as possible. The right target, hopefully. Alright, they are on Simic. Green, blue. Alright, so ramp. There is a world where they don't have another land. We revealed a lot of information to our opponent, but they're untapped or have all their lands tapped. They have a tapped land, so that did slow them down. Right. Do have a combat trick here. Go to combat. Back in. Let's see what they have here. I'm gonna hang on to the Bushwhack. One could argue to get a land so we can cast our 4-drops, but eventually we'll hit a land drop. So yeah, we were trying to slow down the Simic ramp, but they're hitting their land drops, so looking at my card. Alright, so that's a slow play. I don't think we trade. Not gonna even attack in here. Alright, there's the 4-drop. Do it like that. This haste. +1/+1. Attack in. It's actually 2 +1/+1. Sorry. To its power. So I thought I might have done it. Another. Yeah, another. That's where I messed up. Can't gain life, they get to return something in hand, they return the creature with counters on it. Okay. But we have access to 5 mana. Do it again. Haste. I'll bushwhack. That's at sorcerer speed, so we could do it at our next end step. If they want to trade both, then so be it. They don't. Should we hang on to the bushwhack? I think we do, actually. Our trample is enough to get in. They're gonna bounce back something in our hand. They do. Where do they bounce? Alright, Alana and Elena? Nope. Show it 2 1/1 counters on and trample. Alright, so now we probably entertain the idea of bushwhacking, right? So if we align, give this haste. Bushwhack now, I don't think we do. Slow it down a bit. Alright, so there will be trample damage. 4, so they're down to 1. Play out the tap land, and we'll hang on to the bushwhack. I don't think they're gonna have means to recover here. You have the removal before we're attacking in. Interesting. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Hey there, cons. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you out there in the plane of Tarkir.